What is going on, Reset Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Operation Self Reset. I am Jacob Naraki, and I am your reset master for today because we're here to reset, change, and transform your own personal life little steps at a time. As you know, we're in 2015, and I got a pretty spectacular guest on today. It's all about the number 15. What does it mean? Should you gamble with the number 15? Is 2015 the year for you? Question mark. I don't know. We'll find out in the interview. But before we get into that, we're going to do a little joke. The reason why I do a joke, to enlighten you, to make you feel warm and cozy, to get you engaged, to release those endorphins so you're ready to understand what does 15 mean to you and into your life, into your family, and everything that goes into being you. Today's joke is a blind man walks into a bar and a table and a chair. Ba-doom-tsh. Is that a joke? I don't know. It's more of a statement joke. A blind man walks into a bar and a table and a chair. I thought it was funny. My humor is kind of lame, I guess. But regardless, let's dive into the interview today because, a lot of us, when it comes to 2015, we're always looking for that edge. We're thinking this is the year of our goals. This is the year of the promotion. This is the year of marriage and relationships and, all the great things that are come in store for us. But as you know, life carries on. Things don't happen. We get off track. We stumble. We fall. We land on our face, and then we're sliding downhill. Funny little story about sliding downhill. Back in the day, when I was younger, my father would take the basketball team, my grade school basketball team, to a local ski resort. Not a resort, just a ski hill. And we would rent all the equipment and, just kind of mess around in the hill. Well, as you know, when you're a young child, around 7 years in seventh grade, there's different skill levels. Some people are good at skiing, some people are not. And the best part was about the whole experience is the next day at school when we would come off of out of my dad's van and everybody would go home. The next day we would see each other's faces, and there were some kids that were horrible skiers. And when they would fall, they would literally do a face plant and just slide on that glazed ice surface, and their glasses would be all scratched. Their face would just be all blistered, and oh man, it was just wild. So I don't know why I shared that with you, but reflect back in your life, and has there been a time that you fell on your face and destroyed your glasses, or you destroyed your face? If so, email me. I love to hear about it. I think it's really funny, obviously to the degree. I don't want any somebody beat me up or, crazy sad stories. I'm just looking for enlightened stories of getting your face implanted in mud, dirt, snow, ice, what have you. I don't know. I think it would be really funny. Some people like to share those stories, right? I don't know. So regardless, today, all about 15. I know. Jake, stop talking about it. Let's get into the interview. Okay, I will. Here's the interview about 15 and what does 2015 have for you. And today we have an amazing guest. If you were wondering what is in store for 2015, I have a surprise for you. Today we have Bill Jenkins. This is his fourth book. It's called 15, and it's talking about the Bible. I don't believe I've spoken about the Bible in this podcast before, but today we're going to be talking about 15 and how many times it's brought up in the Bible, 42 times if you're wondering, and what does 15 mean, and what does it mean for you in 2015? Now, Bill, before we begin, like always, thanks so much for joining me. Thank you for reaching out to me. I usually don't interview, pastors and individuals when it comes to talk about religion because, as you know, a lot of different people have different theories and stuff like that. But this is interesting to me because I was born on December 15th. So now when I heard 15, I was like, I got to get you on here. I got to see what 15 is all about. So thank you so much for coming on.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I'm looking forward to this time and sharing with you some interesting things about 15 and how it fits into the year 2015.
Exactly. This is pretty wild. So I guess first off, explain to us, how did you come upon 15? Obviously, you're a pastor. You read the Bible. When did it hit you that you're like, wow, 15 just keeps coming up over and over again?
Well, every year what I try to do is lay out a plan for success for the people here at our church. And one way that I did it this year was begin to research the number 15 and begin to see if there was any consistency that may be relayed to how we can lay a foundation for success in 2015.
Okay.
Cool. And what, I guess, what is that foundation? What is the core principles that you figured out?
Well, as I began to study 15, I noticed that it really revolved around five main themes in the Bible. In other words, every time those 42 opportunities, the word 15 came up, it revolved around five main themes. And so when I began to see those themes, I began to see how God was leading me to begin to lay a foundation to begin to cast out the people for success. You know, you mentioned a moment ago about, you know, you didn't really have religious people on. Well, I'm not thinking this is a religious book. Although I'm a pastor, although
Sure.
I do a lot of things with Christian people, I believe that this is a plan that, as we lay it out, can really allow people to have a great, successful 2015.
Cool, cool. So I guess there's five different areas here. I guess where do you want to start with this? I'm in the dark. I've never heard of this before. I never heard of the power of 15. Obviously, you and I are talking about your book. We're talking about the ideas you found out. But let's turn it back to the listener. What can the listener walk away from this interview? You know, I mean, if you had to boil down the substance of your book and the things you identified, can you come up with three things that you want to share with the listener that is really a good takeaway that they can use in their year 2015?
Well, listen, 15 is really an important part of our life. I believe numbers, colors, names, people, places, I believe they all have relevance in the Bible. The Bible really, 1 out of 6 scriptures, it has a direct reference to a number in it. Now, the number 15 probably wouldn't be one of those sexy numbers, you know, that everybody might just pull out and say, yeah, that's mentioned a lot. But as I begin to study just the number 15, I began to understand that it had a lot of relevance in our life. For instance, even in the sports world, tennis, the number 15 is the first point that's scored in the game. Major League Baseball. If you remember, I don't know if you're a baseball fan, being from Wisconsin or not. I'm a big Cub fan, but I noticed that Major League Baseball, you know, they had 16 and 14 teams for years, 30 teams total, but 16 in one, 14 in the other. Well, last year they just moved it to where it's 15 and 15. Billiards has 15 number pool balls. Backgammon begins with each side having 15 checkers. Rugby has 15 players on each side. It's also the number worn by the starting fullback. Now, rugby is not a popular sport in America. However, it is the number of the fullback, which is the most important person on the field. Even in football, if you think about it, has 15-minute quarters, and there's a 15-minute penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. Well, guess what? How many letters unsportsmanlike has in it? You guessed it, 15. It's in our government. Our president has 15 members of the cabinet. February 15th is Susan B. Anthony Day. We don't realize that, she just didn't work for women alone. She worked for the anti-slavery movement. And so it's a part of our everyday life. Kentucky was the 15th state. Abraham Lincoln died on February 15th. 15 was a song that was written by Taylor Swift. It was also a song written by Marilyn Manson. He's got 15 tattooed on behind one of his ears. The Beatles had 15 number one albums. And so I could go on and on just how 15 is a part of our life. I mean, this is not just something we're whipping out from the Bible. And as I began to study the Bible, I noticed that one of the things, you asked me to give you 3, but one of those things was there's a story about a king in the Bible. And this king was a good king. He did a lot of wonderful things. But there was a prophet that came to him, sent by God, to this king by the name of Hezekiah. And he told him, you've got to get your affairs in order. You're about to die. And that's all he said, and then he left. I mean, think about that. If somebody showed up at your door who you maybe respected and thought a lot of, and they just told you to get your affairs in order, you're about to die, how would you feel? Well, Hezekiah was upset, but he didn't blame the prophet. He didn't blame God. He just went to the Lord in prayer. Now, he was given a death sentence in his 14th year of his reign. Now, keep that in mind, his 14th year. But as he began to pray, call upon the Lord, seek the Lord's face, God changed his mind, told the prophet to go back and tell him that not only was he going to not die, but he was going to have a 15-year extension upon his life. Now, you say, well, how does that fit in my life? Well, 2014, a lot of people may have felt like they had a death sentence imposed on them. They may have gone through a struggle, a difficulty. They may have suffered a loss, someone they loved may have gone to be with the Lord. They may have really gone through a painful time, through a relationship, through a divorce, maybe financially, maybe through a job loss. I don't know, but they may feel like 2014 was a rough year. Well, I'm telling you that I believe that just as Hezekiah had a death sentence imposed upon him during the 14th year of his reign, he also had a 15-year extension brought upon him. So 2014 may have brought some of your listening audience a death sentence, but I believe that 2015 is going to grant them additions and extensions. Things are going to come into their life. Things are going to begin to open up. I believe things are going to begin to happen to make their life just a better place to be in 2015.
Wow, Bill, my goodness gracious. 15, it's everywhere. When you count, it's in the calendar month after month. It's around us every single day. But I'm poking fun a little bit. But honestly, though, it's interesting, and you're right about 2014. I think now obviously there's people listening that are thinking, well, yeah, that happens every single year. People go through difficulty all the time. It's not like it happens at the fifth year of every decade or century or anything. There's no rhyme or reason when tragedy hits. But when you do take an outside perspective and you notice things when it comes to 15, it's like if I bought a white car, a white Audi 8, which is outside of my means, and I would go, wow, this is the best car ever. I'm probably the only one in Milwaukee that has it. Well, as I drive around, I'm noticing that white Audi 8 all around me constantly. I'm like, gosh darn it, I thought it was the only one. No, obviously, you're looking for 15, and 15 pops up all the time in your own personal life. So with going off of that, I guess, how do we make 2015 our best year yet? I mean, is it just we sit back and relax? Do we take action, but we don't know what action to take upon? Do we just go with the vibe of 15, find 15 in our life, and we attack it, and we think that's going to be our saving grace? Obviously, there's a book called The Secret out there. People really believed in it, but then they realized, well, I just can think of positive things, but that doesn't always mean it's going to happen. You need to take action. I think you would agree. So how do we take action in 2015? I guess how do we use it to our advantage?
Well, absolutely. You can't just sit down and twiddle your thumbs and think for the best and then hope it's going to happen. It's going to have to take faith. Now, faith is really is probably a religious word. I mean, it's probably a Christian word, probably a word used in church, but it really isn't as religious as most people would think, because when you sat in a chair this morning, you didn't think to yourself, is this chair going to hold me? Maybe I had a little bit too much to eat for Christmas. Maybe I had one too many pieces of ham or turkey or this food or that food or one too many pieces of pie over the holiday. You didn't think that. You just sat down believing, not even thinking about it, that chair was going to hold you. And so we have to have faith. You're going to have faith in something. So I believe that you got to put your faith and your trust in the Lord. You got to put your faith in something. And that's another point that I'm making for 2015 is I believe this is a year God's going to connect you. So it's the year of what I'm calling the God send. There's another man in the Bible by the name of John the Baptist. And the Bible said that during the reign of Tiberius Caesar, that John the Baptist began his ministry. Now, what? During the 15th year. Now, you say, well, what was John the Baptist? Well, he was a man that was sent from God whose name was John. And so I believe that as you put your trust in the right places in 2015, you're going to have things attracted to you. You're going to be a magnet and draw things to you. You don't have to go out there and search and hunt and go try to find something. I believe if you do the right thing, it's going to come to you. Listen, I've been married 16 years. I got a beautiful wife. I got an awesome wife. When my wife, when I found her, I wasn't out there looking for her. She came to me. She came in my environment, in my space. She was drawn to me. And so a lot of times we go out looking for things, and what we do is we create problems for ourselves. We try to force doors down. We try to make things happen. We try to get our name noticed. We try to get recognition. And it just doesn't work that way. But as you do the right thing in 2015, people are going to be drawn to you. And just like John the Baptist was sent, I believe people are going to be sent to you. Now, what did John the Baptist do? He changed the momentum. He brought light. He shifted the tide. He changed things around. From the end of the Old Testament, from the beginning of the New Testament, there were 400 years that were known as the dark years. In other words, no recorded voice of the Lord was heard for 400 years. That's what made it dark. This is history. This is not just religion. And so when John the Baptist came on the scene, he turned the tide. He shifted the momentum. So I'm declaring to your audience today that I believe as you do the right things, put your focus in the right areas, prioritize your life where it needs to be, you don't got to go out there and do the things that you need to do to manipulate people or manipulate, things in your life. People are going to be drawn to you. And what's going to happen is you're going to have divine connections. You're going to be able to be connected to the right people who are going to help you to be elevated to that spot, to that point, to that place in your life where you're desiring to be.
Right. Yeah. And you brought up a lot of good, wholesome points in there, and I, again, belief and faith, I mean, they do come from a religious background, and there's a famous quote out there, and I read it actually every day: faith removes limitations, and you got to believe in something. And it doesn't matter if you're Catholic, Buddhism, or whatever, whoever you believe in, whatever your theory is on that stuff, you need to believe in something. And if you don't believe in anything, then you really are a lost soul on this planet. You really need to be anchored to something to help guide you through the difficult times. Because most of the time, if people are not religious, they're just kind of floating by the seat of their pants. But when tragedy hits and things take a downturn, they're searching for something, and they're searching for anything, and that's usually when they come upon the religious background, the foundation that's kind of always there but never really leaned on until the time of need. So kind of going back, tracing back here a couple steps, you said Marilyn Manson. I don't know why it just hit me. Marilyn Manson has a tattoo of 15. Now, Marilyn Manson is a pretty outrageous kind of rebel music guy, and I wouldn't say he's very religious. Do you know the reasoning of why he has 15 on his body?
I have no idea.
Okay.
However, it seems like Marilyn Manson is infatuated with the number 15. He has 15 songs appear on 3 different albums. And on the 15th song on the album entitled The High End of Low, it's entitled 15. It was also recorded on 1509, 1515. If you count the numbers in the album title, which is The High End of Low, how many letters do you think you get? 15. And so he also, like I mentioned, has a tattoo of 15 behind his left ear. So he's infatuated with 15 for some reason. So I don't know why. I'm not making predictions, but look for something from Marilyn Manson to happen in 2015. Taylor Swift is another. She wrote a song about a 15-year-old teenage girl and how they need to be careful to not just, allow all of these boys to persuade or manipulate them to do something wrong.
Interesting. I'm smiling because this sounds so, I don't want to say ridiculous. It sounds out there a little bit for me, but yet at the same time, like, well, I'm kind of intrigued. I want to know what 15 has in store for me. Now, like I said earlier, my birthday is 12/15. Now, does that mean, do I have some sacred power or something this year? Is this my year, you think?
Well, listen, I don't know if it's got some sacred power or if it's got something, but I do believe that this is a year as, all of us, as I said, do the right thing, that I believe good things are going to happen. So what are you believing for? What are you dreaming about? What is on your mind? What are you pursuing? Maybe you feel like, something you've been waiting for hasn't happened. Well, I believe that, 2015 is going to be a year when you're going to have that package delivered. So, some people may feel like it got lost in the mail. Some people may have felt like their package got returned to sender. But I believe that 2015 is a year when, if you check the tracking again, that it's going to say out for delivery. And I believe there's going to be some great things that are going to happen to people as they really, as I said, do the right things in 2015. So, yeah, if you want me to stand here or tell you right now that, hey, something's good going to happen to you, I will. I'll tell you right now. Keep your eyes open. Keep looking up. Something's good is going to come your way in 2015.
Awesome. You're good. You're obviously enthused. What do people usually say, about this 15 thing? Do you really have to sell them on this, or are people very receptive? Or are they confused? I'm just trying to get a sense of.
I think that because this is something that people have never heard before, I think it's something that they're really intrigued by. So it doesn't matter if they're a psychic or they're involved in a different kind of religion or if they're a part of Christianity. This is something that is catching the attention of people. This book is on Amazon. You can get it on ebook. You can get it on Barnes and Noble. You can get it through eBay. You can get it through websites. It's all over. It's really beginning to pick up some steam. It's really beginning to, catch people's eyes, because this is more than just a book of predictions. It's really a book that I think is, resonating in the hearts of people, because it's releasing hope. And what do we need more than anything? We've gone through several years of things going downhill. And if you notice, last year, the last part of last year, 2014, what started happening? Just little things like what? The price of gas started going down. Well, it's funny how when you see gas go down a little bit, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself and about your life.
Of course.
Now, here in Indiana, we have gas prices under $2.
I know.
That may seem little, but I believe there's going to be a lot of little things like that happen that's going to turn the tide, shift the momentum, and bring a smile to our faces in 2015.
Awesome. You know what? Thank you for reaching out to me, and thank you for coming on here, because honestly, this is what we need to hear. There's too many sad stories out there. We need a guy like you that is enthused, that is ready to take on 2015, like firing out of a cannon, and you are expecting the best. And you know what? It makes me feel good listening to what you're saying, and I know the listeners are resonating with the same. Some of them probably think you're a little nuts, but regardless, it's really interesting, and I really, really think that there is going to be some great things in 2015. And like I say all the time, what else do you have to believe in? If you think, well, okay, so you're either going to think on the positive side of the coin and go with us, me and Bill here in 2015, and just rock it, or you're going to be on the back side of the coin, being the negative Nelly and saying, no, 2015, that's just a hoax, that's just a random thing, all these numbers and whatever, they don't even make sense. Well, then fine. But I'm going to use every advantage I can in my personal life. And if 2015 is my year, I'm going to take it and drive it like I stole it. You know what I mean? So, Bill, my man, honestly, thank you so much for coming on here. And I guess the boil down your message is that 2015 has some marvelous things in store for each and every one of us. And all it is to believe and take action, and whatever we feel is right to make 2015 our best year yet. Wouldn't you agree?
And here's the thing, the prerequisite to faith, because you've mentioned that and you've asked me that earlier, but the prerequisite to faith is hope. If you don't have hope, you cannot have faith. So if all we're doing is releasing some hope, which I believe it's more than that, but it's a start. Receive the hope. Receive the message you got. Look at your heart. You're filled with hope. You feel a little bit of joy. You feel a little pep in your step here on the 1st of January. And so I believe that the prerequisite to faith is hope. If you can get a little hope in you, if you can just begin to look on the bright side of things, you know what? Things can begin to turn around. And I believe it really will be the best year of your life.
Awesome, Bill. How can people get in touch with the book? I know you shared it's pretty much all over the place, right?
Yeah, you can get it through our website, www.churchofacts.org. It's on Amazon, so you can get it on Amazon. You can get it through Kindle ebook. You can get it through Barnes and Noble's website. Go to eBay. You can get it just about anywhere. If it's not where you locally go and shop for books, ask them, and they can get it for you. So it's just about everywhere, and I encourage all of you to get a copy, read it, get it in you, and experience what 2015 has to offer for all of us.
Bill, dude, honestly, I tip my hat to you. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I know that people are going to be enjoying this stuff. And now, come next year, 2016, are you going to send me a new email and say, hey, I got a book called 2016, 16 is the new hot number? Is this going to be a yearly thing?
Yeah, you know it. I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back in 16. I'm going to have something for you that I'm going to release for the number 16.
Right. Here. Well, you'll always be in business. That's for sure. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking with you. But all honesty, though, good luck in 2015. And hopefully I'll be sending you an email and reflecting on all the great things in 2015. I actually have some pretty personal big goals that I have set. So I'm trying my best to just keep on doing them every single day, and I hope, and I have the hope, I have the belief, and I have the faith that I will accomplish those things. So with the power of 15, I'm sure I'll get there. So Bill, my man, thank you so much. And for people listening, all the information, the links, his book, and other stuff will all be in the show notes. So Bill, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pretty crazy interview about the number 15 and how hopefully, and maybe it will, and I think it kind of will be a great year for all of us in 2015, right? Like I said, why not believe in it? Why not use that to your advantage? So when you are struggling a little bit to be creative or to figure out your next move in life, just think, you know what, 2015, this is my year. I'm just going to make it happen. I'm just going to do it, and you're just going to hit it head on and go for it, because you just have that power of knowing that 2015 is your year. And like I said in the interview there, I have a son that's being born in, technically his due date is February 19th. But if my son is due, I guess, on February 15th, I'm going to go bananas. I am just going to freak out. So make sure that you are a fan of the Facebook fan page. Go to facebook.com/OSR fan page and make sure you like that page, because when my child is born on February, hopefully 15th, I'm just going to post up the wazoo of all these videos and saying, 2015 is the year. I'm telling you. So stay tuned. Make sure you head on over to facebook.com/OSR fan page. Like it, and you will get notified when my child is born. And if it's on 2015, everybody's going to get a free glass of water, and we'll celebrate, I guess, because some people don't like drinking. Some people don't like juice and soda. So I thought, water. We all drink water. Why not, right? So anyway, that's it for today. If you guys have any suggestions for somebody to come on to this amazing, top-rated, the best show in the universe, let me know. Send me an email. Go to your email inbox and type in, you can type in Jake at Operation Self Reset. I had to think there for a second. I got a lot of email addresses. Jake at Operation Self Reset. And if you have any personal questions for me, do the same thing. I would love to chat with you, hang out, see what's going on in your world, and I want to improve, change, and reset your own personal life. Truly, I do this for you. I do this for me also. I'm not going to lie to you, but at the end of the day, I am speaking to you directly, and I want you to live a better life than what you are right now. Some of you guys are living extraordinary, cool, amazing lives. Some of you are not. It doesn't matter. The key is to be happy, to be present, and to love every minute, and to surround yourself with good, genuine people that you can just sit back and relax and talk your head off and laugh and giggle and just enjoy the finer moments in life. So that's what I want to give to you. And to do that, I got to keep on pumping these bad boys out every single Wednesday. You know where to find me. Go to iTunes, go to Stitcher, go wherever, the Facebook fan page, and sign up, subscribe. And if you know somebody that could use a little inspiration in their life, suggest this iTunes podcast to them. Go to iTunes, copy my link, send it to them, and hopefully I resonate with them. But regardless, last little pitch, go to operationselfreset.com, sign on up for the email list. You want to know more about me? I want to know more about you? We got to get in touch via email. I need to capture it. It's email capture, and I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to over-email you. I'm not going to pitch you. But I am going to get in touch with you. So it's something I've been lacking. And for the people that have signed up, I apologize, but don't worry. I will rev that up soon. And the great thing about signing up for the email list, you get 9 free, pretty darn cool PDFs to help you on your reset journey. That's all I got for you today. Enjoy your day. Make it a great day. Have fun and do something wild and crazy. And if you fall on your face, make sure to document it and send me an email. Love you guys. We'll talk to you later.